This place doesn't suit you, a middle school graduate. It's embarrassing for you to be here. You're a poor woman living on a pension. I don't want anything to do with you, so why don't you leave?" My eldest son's wife's words made me lose my patience. Finally, the arrogant attitude I tolerated for so many years surged to the forefront of my mind, and I was seething with anger. I said to her if I just shut up and listen. But before I could finish, my second son's wife, who looked pale, interrupted, "Oh, Mary, don't tell me you don't know. This is the story of my eldest son's wife, who mocked me, her mother-in-law, until she fell into a miserable situation. My name is Sally, and today I'm turning 62 years old. I'm already old, but I've managed to live a healthy life. Since graduating from junior high school, I've spent my time working and raising my children. Before I knew it, I'd reached this age. It was depressing when my beloved husband suddenly passed away 5 years ago, but with the support of those around me, I was able to overcome the grief. Over the past few years, I've been working just a little bit, taking over the work from my husband. Although there are some small problems, the work itself is going well, and I'm satisfied with it. But there's something that bothers me more than that. "Hello, I have a delivery for you." I respond as the carrier comes to my door. It was a single sealed envelope and a gorgeous floral arrangement with a card that said, "Happy birthday." The sender was my second son, Tyler. I'd never received anything like this when he was single. Ariana, who married Tyler last year, must have taken care of it. For better or worse, Tyler has a carefree, non-toxic personality, but he married Ariana, who's firm and considerate. They live about an hour's drive away from here, but they visit every once in a while to show their concern and invite me on trips with them. I called Ariana to thank her. "Happy birthday," she said. "I heard you like flowers. I hope you stay well. I look forward to seeing you again." She sounded so happy. She's such a good wife, too good for Tyler. The problem is the sender of the other sealed letter, my eldest son, Tom. When I opened it, I found a birthday card. Tom, who got married a little before Tyler, isn't the type to do something like this on his own, so it must have been his wife, Mary. My eldest son's wife, Mary, is the source of my greatest concern. She boasts of being a highly educated elite, working for a large company. She has a strong temperament and, to put it bluntly, a haughty personality. She judges people based on their educational backgrounds and the companies they work for. If someone is lower than her, she immediately takes an attitude of making fun of them. I, who've been working since graduating from junior high school, am an object of contempt for her. I knew from the beginning that she looked down on me, but as the months went by, she became more and more arrogant. She'd come over to my house without notice and then demand I prepare meals, saying I'm tired from work. She'd also ask me for money behind Tom's back. Tom is in a management position at a restaurant chain, so money is never a problem for her. Still, I love Tom, who's soft-spoken and somewhat fragile, like my husband was, so I put up with it because she married him. But if I'm honest, it hurts me and I don't feel good about it. Since she congratulated me on my birthday, I should at least thank her. So I called Mary. "Hello," she said. "I'm sorry, I'm tired from work, so please make it quick." I replied, "You sent me a card for my birthday, didn't you? I called to thank you for it." "Oh, you got it? I'm so glad," she said. "Oh, by the way, there's a dinner party with your relatives coming up. Isn't there, Sally? Please dress decently so I won't be embarrassed." "Thank you anyway," I said. Yes, well then, bye." She hung up. There wasn't even a word of congratulations, but that's Mary. I sighed to myself and wondered if there was anything I could do. A few weeks later, I had a chance to attend a dinner party with my relatives. My niece, whom I've loved since she was a little girl, was getting married. Since they weren't having a wedding, they decided to hold a dinner party to introduce her husband to her relatives. They invited me, Tom, Mary, Tyler, and Ariana. I was walking with my second son and his wife, who had arrived earlier, through the courtyard where the dinner party was to be held. The weather is fine today, isn't it? I said, "You look great in your kimono, and it fits perfectly in this courtyard." "Well, it's a proper place today, and I haven't been here in a long time," Ariana replied. "I wish I'd come in a kimono too. It's a very nice and luxurious restaurant." "Oh, come on," Tyler said. "I can't buy you an expensive kimono for a place like this." "I know, I'm just saying," Ariana laughed. While we were having this conversation, my eldest son and his wife arrived late. "Hello," Mary said. "Wow, you dressed properly." "Hey, you don't have to say it like that," Tom tried to stop her, but Mary was clearly unhappy. "It's almost time to go in," I said, and we went inside the restaurant. About 30 relatives had gathered, and many came to greet me. "She's very well liked, isn't she? Is it out of pity?" Mary, standing a little distance away, whispered, "Hawkins," but my ears caught it. I pretended not to hear her and took my seat. My niece and her new partner greeted everyone, and after a toast, the dinner party began. I thought this would be a restaurant in a rural area, but the food is quite impressive, Mary said, enjoying her meal one after another and drinking a lot of sake. They have a good selection of sake as well. It's just as well they were featured in a magazine. The dinner itself went on peacefully in a celebratory mood for my niece's marriage. I was relieved to see that my niece's partner seemed like a solid person. "By the way, I heard you graduated from K University and are working for a famous bank," one of the relatives said to my niece's partner. "Yes, indeed I do," he replied with some trepidation. "I'm grateful to my parents for letting me go to college." "K University, huh?" Mary interjected, though no one asked. "I graduated from W University. I'm a chief executive at a big company." She was eager to boast about her educational background and her job. "Hey, stop it." Tom tried to stop her, but Mary ignored him. "After all, in this day and age, academic background is very important, isn't it?" she continued. "No, I don't think so," my niece's partner responded firmly. "There are many respectable people regardless of their academic background." But Mary's talking didn't end. "I think you, who went to K University, would understand that there's something only educated people can comprehend. People with no education are low level." My niece's partner was a bit taken aback. "Hey, you've had too much to drink," Tom said, and Ariana desperately tried to stop her. Tom looked at Mary as if she were an alien, and so did the relatives who were there. "If you don't have an education, you can't work at a good company, and you can't make money," Mary went on. "You know what I mean, don't you, Sally?" I already guessed what she was going to say. "I don't know, Mary. You've drunk too much. Why don't you go outside and get some air?" I answered without hesitation. That seemed to irritate her. "What's the matter with you, Mary?" "You're being a bit harsh," someone said. "Did you just tell me to leave, even though I'm a college graduate and you're a junior high school graduate? I don't understand." "Hey, what the hell are you?" Tom tried to stop her, but I stopped him with my eyes. Now that it had come to this, the truth had to come out. "Mary, if you have something to say, why don't you say it?" I said. She laughed through her nose and spoke up. "Well, let me tell you something. If I were you, I'd be too embarrassed to show up among relatives because you're a middle school graduate with no qualifications." All the relatives, including my niece and her partner, were looking at us. "I haven't seen you working much since your husband passed away," Mary continued. "I mean, you're unemployed, and at 62, it's not even close to retirement age. At the place I work, people are working hard as elite managers." Mary was on a roll, almost seeming to enjoy herself. "You didn't even go to high school or have any qualifications. That's why you're in this situation. Don't you think it's pathetic? I definitely don't want to become an aunt like you. I work for a big company." Not only the relatives, but even the employees who brought the food froze and listened to her words. Then she unleashed the decisive blow. "A middle school graduate like you doesn't belong in a place like this, and it's embarrassing. You're a poor person living on a pension. I don't want to get involved, so why don't you leave?" Her words made me lose my patience. The arrogant attitude I'd been trying so hard to tolerate surged to the forefront of my mind, and I felt a surge of rage. The back of my nose twitched as I held back tears that were about to flow. "Hey, I just shut up and listen," I began. But before I could finish, Ariana, looking very pale, said, "Oh, Mary, don't tell me you don't know." "What?" "I don't know what." Mary looked at Ariana with doubtful eyes, then around at the relatives. Some looked bitter, some angry, some condescending. Tom suppressed his eyes and slumped down. "What?" "What the hell?" Mary said. Ariana answered in a trembling voice, "Sally is the owner of this restaurant, remember?" After a moment of silence, Mary snickered. "What?" "Don't make me laugh." "What are you talking about?" Then the chef and the employees rushed over to me. "Boss, are you all right?" "She's a wonderful person. I can tell you how much she's helped me." "Do you know what you're talking about?" he shouted angrily at Mary. She turned to Tom. "What's this all about?" "Nothing. It's just what they said is true," Tom replied. "What? What are you talking about?" "You've never told me before." "Dad and Mom started this restaurant, and she took over from him," Tom explained. "But she wasn't in a good position to run the business by herself, so now she lends her name to someone else to run it. It's true that she's the owner." "Why didn't you tell me?" Mary demanded. "If I told you, you'd say stupid things like wanting the restaurant or the property. I wanted to leave my mother alone, who was depressed after my father's death. Besides, as soon as you heard about her education, you looked down on her and weren't interested." "What? How can a junior high school graduate run such a fancy restaurant? The business is going down the drain, isn't it? Even the house is old." "It's true that they're poor." Tyler spoke up. "My mother prefers to keep things simple, and the house is full of memories of my father. She owns a condominium in front of the station and other properties that she and my father bought together. To be honest, I think she earns much more than you do." "What?" "What the hell, you guys?" Mary exclaimed. "Enough. You're just a middle school graduate. Why don't you just stop?" A quiet, calm voice rang out. Standing there was a man, one of the relatives, not much older than me, dressed in an elegant suit. "What's the matter with you, old man? Don't talk to me." "Who are you, huh?" Mary retorted, looking at his face. Then her face turned pale. "Do you know who I am?" "No, no way." "Executive Director." This man was a cousin of my husband and, apparently, the managing director of Mary's company. "I had no idea one of her relatives was a problem employee at her company," he said. "To be honest, you don't have a good reputation at the company. I've heard you're very critical of other employees and treat your team differently based on their academic backgrounds. This seems to have a big impact on your work, causing problems with projects." Mary looked as if she were about to faint, but the executive director continued. "I'm sure it must be even worse at your company since you treat your relatives so badly. I'm going to look into this case and ensure my report against you is properly scrutinized. You'll probably be demoted or let go." "No, Executive Director, please don't do that," Mary pleaded. Tom grabbed her by the shoulders and stopped her. "That's enough, Mary. If you'd told me from the beginning, this wouldn't have happened. Do something about it." Mary, with a bright red face, turned on Tom. "Mary, let's get a divorce. You're always like this, but you're ruining such an important event and causing problems at work as well. More than anything, I can't be with you anymore after you spoke that way to my mother, who worked so hard to raise us." Tom said this without emotion. I burst into tears as Tyler held me by the shoulders and Ariana cuddled me close. "What the hell? Everyone is protecting this middle-aged woman? There's no way I'm getting divorced and demoted. Don't be silly." Mary was distraught. The executive director said quietly, "You can't stay here any longer. You should leave now." "I agree," my niece added in a firm voice. "It's an important place for us, and my aunt is an important person. We don't feel good about having it ruined. Please leave us alone." "This is ridiculous. This is impossible." Mary was stunned and left the room with an employee. "Everyone, I'm sorry about my wife," Tom said, bowing. My niece rubbed my arm. Don't worry about it. I love you and everyone loves you. Besides, that lady won't be your daughter-in-law anymore. Yes, don't worry about it, Sally. I respect you, Ariana said, leaning in close. Yes, I'll be happy if I can get divorced from her, Tom added. I'm sorry, Mom. I can't believe you're divorcing because of me. What are you talking about, Mom? I'm really sorry for everything I've done. From now on, I'll be more filial to you. Tom put his hand on my shoulder. After that, we all regained our composure and finished the dinner without incident. A few months later, Tom and Mary divorced. Mary made a fuss and went to family court to seek alimony, but her claim was unsuccessful. According to the managing director, an internal investigation revealed Mary's problematic behavior. She was so proud of her education and work, but I couldn't believe she was behaving like that at work. In the end, she was transferred to a small branch office in another prefecture, technically a demotion. Then something unexpected happened. Tom announced he would take over the restaurant. I'd never forced my children to take over the family business because I wanted them to do the work they loved, but I felt a little sad about handing over the precious place I inherited from my husband to someone else. Tom told me with a serious look, that restaurant must be filled with the love and passion of my father and you. I really wanted to take it over, but I thought I couldn't handle it, so I went to work for a restaurant chain. But when I saw how much your employees love you, I decided I wanted to protect the restaurant that you and Dad built. Tom, thank you very much, but you have a lot to learn and study. I'll guide you and teach you well, so do your best. Tom came to work for me at the restaurant, and I became busy again as I trained him. 1 year later, on my 63rd birthday, as Tom and I waited in front of our house, Tyler's car arrived. Sally, happy birthday. Ariana got out of the car, her voice filled with joy. Tyler gently picked up their baby from the car seat in the back and held him. Welcome, you three, I said. They had a baby, and I finally became a grandmother to my lovely grandchildren. It's about time I took over the restaurant business in earnest, Tom said. I hope to serve my nephews delicious food for their celebrations. Tom, who had worked hard in his training, was set to take over the restaurant in earnest this year. He narrowed his eyes, and I secretly wished he'd find someone new, now that he'd become a full-fledged restaurant chef.